You're kidding. They threw out
Look at these.
all this.
This is uranium glass. It looks like uranium glass. I'm taking it all.
I mean, this is a beautiful house after sale.
This is the kind of stuff that I can start a hardware store with. Ooh, I like the antique
Hey,
light
nice.
bulb. Chain.
Oh, wow. Is that copper?
Yep.
Oh, man. Wish you could get rid of all this stuff.
The brackets. Got some porcelain ones. Got these interesting little metal ones. Oh, I just learned about these the other day. These are dry transfers. Hey, the old type of switch plug. Switch cover, I mean. Don't know what that is, but
I'm sorry, what? Wow.
ooh. A zenith. What is this? That's a heating element.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need that, but that's cool. But yeah, that radio, I kind of can't let that radio go. I wish I had a screwdriver for this. For the
Oh.
handle. You know, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use the metal. Okay. So guys, it's been a few days. Yesterday I didn't bring my camera, so I didn't do a whole lot, but I did empty out that nice long milk crate from Embassy Dairy, and it was made in 1983. I washed it down. It's a beautiful green hue, and I have that at the apartment now. I have this. It looks almost like you could sell items out of it. A whole bunch of little brackets and stuff. Interesting light fixtures. A few wood finishes. So these Howard products, they are still manufactured, along with this as well. But this Dr. Woodwell's Wood Elixir, that does not seem like that's actually manufactured anymore, so it's kind of interesting. Something from like 2014, 2013. I'm spending time working on cleaning up the workshop for now. But you know what? Instead of going through a lot of those things, which I'm going to keep pretty much everything of that. By the way, it's so funny. I just learned about dry transfers, and I had the Wikipedia page up so I'd remember about them, and now I have some. That's so cool. I think what I'm going to do today, even though I'm not going to be going through too much of that because I need to make some ways to organize it, I'm going to take apart this space heater because I don't necessarily need space heaters. I also don't believe that, you know, I'm more of the kind of person that wants to heat yourself instead of heating the room. And that's the best way to conserve energy. This looks like it would have some interesting components in it though. So we have 1250 and 1500 watts. One of them is burnt out. Now the outside metal, I would like that to use. I wonder, I do like the shape of it. So I do kind of wonder if I should keep it, well, let's open it up and see. 2 screws on each side on the bottom, and it pops out. Oh, is this interesting? So the handle's holding on the top. I do really like this handle. It's a nice handle. Ah, there's a screw here. Okay. I am just gonna get rid of this. I'm not really interested in that. And then I can get rid of this cable. I can use the cable actually. Let's see. Yeah, this could be a good housing for something. I don't know if it was worth the blood, but I got it apart, and we have some high temperature, probably nichrome wire. I was able to get these off. Ooh, that'll be hard to get back on. Okay then. You know, part of me almost wants to break these just out of curiosity, but no, I shouldn't. I should keep them because turns out the middle coil was the one that was busted, but the outer one is still intact. So I might be able to use this for a tiny kiln or something. I can kind of set this aside with its insulators for later. And then that'll just get pitched, because who cares about that? Gave myself a few hours to think on this, and now I'm just gonna save this metal. I can cut it up. I'm gonna save the handle, and this is broken. So I'm just gonna pitch all of this. Yeah, I don't need that. Look at that!
Not too shabby.
No, that'd be great for bolts and stuff. Well guys, we found a few more things. We were coming out of the IKEA in Conshohocken, and this was laying on the side of the road. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Please let me know about this, because I love collecting parts of power lines and insulators. This looks like a piece of that. Is this actually an insulator? Is this like a non-conductive? And tell me about it, because I mostly know the antique stuff. I know stuff up to like 1970 or so. I don't know the newer stuff. So this could be really cool. Could be a cool piece of art. I actually do need this because I've been slowly organizing the stuff that we got in the first part of the video, because it's been a lot of things that they dumped into two trash cans, and I pulled it out, and so I've had to organize it quite a bit. And I think the original person who had all that stuff, you know, things get mixed around over however many decades he lived there. Then, it was so sad. There was a whole pile of these that was on the side of the road, like 60 of these. But the person that was using these clearly didn't know how to use these, because they left so much ink for silk screening just globbed on everything, and it was like dripping over it and stuff. Like they were just messy with it. They were all ruined. The only ones I could find that were any good were these two. But we do have a clean screen for silk screen, and this one didn't have any damage on it. It wasn't like poked through or water damage or anything. So I got two silk screen screens. This one says Penn Medicine Safety Management Department. I could still screen that on stuff. That's kind of funny. I got the applicator. Now that is the real find. And I got some sandpaper. Anytime I find sandpaper, I am overjoyed. Since you guys last saw, I also helped Mr. Tadaro move his store, and he gave me this box with a number of things in it. And also I got this from my friend at the Electronics Recycling Center. And I filtered as much as I could into this. This is for wood handles and items. We still have this little box of things. And then we have a few things down here. We have knobs. Oh, this is where that went. I was looking over for where the key for the outside faucet went. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this box of electrical fittings and lamp parts and put that into here. I washed this and I washed that too. So these are drying off. I think I'll just tape this up What's interesting is this is really good chapter book classroom library bin. I bet some kid's gonna be really nostalgic for this in about 10 or 20 years. So I'll patch that up. And this is gonna be a piece of wall art just for now. But I'd really like to make a cool lamp with that. I've been making a lot of cool lamps lately. And these parts are gonna play perfectly into that. I got it all taped up and it feels a lot more durable now. At least enough to hold this. Sure, when I first saw it, I thought it was one of those like Plano plastic or whatever industrial containers, but oh well. Here's something that I'm particularly interested in. Look at that. Isn't that fascinating? Now, if any of you guys want to build a lamp and you need one of these pieces, let me know, because I don't necessarily have anything at the moment that needs these. But once I get locked in on a design, once I get inspired, I'm not going to be able to give these up. So for now, these are available as part of, well, I'm considering this as an open hardware store, actually, that anybody can come to and buy things from. But certain things, once I get an idea, that's it. That thing is going to go for that idea. Yeah, that actually fits that pretty well. I'm glad I got that. Sure, it was a bit thin, but oh well. It's perfect for this. This kind of got wrapped up into this stuff, but it's just a 24-volt AC transformer and some fuses, so that'll be useful as an enclosure. But we have this miscellaneous stuff, and then I'm just doing a video on the garbage day. I have put all of the pulleys and wheels into a box. I might want to make a little wooden box specifically for these, but I don't know how big that's going to be yet. So that box will have to do. And so for the time being, of the organized things, we have the light fixtures, we have caster wheels, we have drawer pulls, we have wood drawer pulls, and then this is brackets and hardware, handles and hinges. So this is also looking for a box. These two, I might make a custom crate for them, but I think, you want to see what I'm using it for?
Sure.
So this is, yeah, that's going to be the box for the bulb interface devices, I guess you'd say. And then those can live in there. These can definitely live in this container. They fit so well. When I first started filling up that container, I didn't have all of those pieces together, so it looked like I'd only fill up half of it, but it fit perfectly because we have these half sphere pieces, but then we have a lot of these taken off of dressers and things. And the screws on these have really interesting threads. They all have that. So I made sure and dug around and made sure that these screws with their weird wood threads kept with the corresponding drawer pull. I guess that's what you call it. And then these actually twist in. They have threads carved into the wood. It's pretty amazing. We didn't eat these. These are from like 2004 that our friends gave us. So if they still put whatever this is into this, we might buy some just for these containers because I like these. However, at home we did finally finish a pretzel container. So we have one pretzel container. I'm thinking maybe the caster wheels can go in the pretzel container. And then the chemicals haven't really fared all that well, unfortunately. I gave some to a friend, and he said he hasn't really seen any use for it. They might be a little too old. I gave him some of the orange oil, and that other oil is definitely too separated, too old. Now in here we have a whole bunch of other stuff. We have a few metal drawer pulls. We have some hooks. Basically, a lot of this hardware, I didn't want to throw it into my bins of like brackets and things just yet, but I think I should make another bin for hinges and hooks. So my brackets can just be for, well, for instance, like old light fixture brackets, like this. So I guess of these, this has the container it'll live in. And then since I'm taking such a long time to film this video, I can wait until I find or make the next good container for it. So those have found homes now. I can't recall what exactly I filmed yet, but I got all of the caster wheels into a new pretzel container, and we're finishing off another pretzel container for the other parts. But I've decided that I had a whole bunch of wood in the workshop that I saved, and I planed some of it, but I didn't end up using it. So I'm going to use all of it to make crates, as many as I can get rid of. And right here we have one such possible crate. These are the brackets from the underside of a 1940s dining room table. And I really love how they look. So those are going to be the side pieces. This will be a long crate, almost like a toolbox. And I'm going to cut something to be here. I think that'll be a good chance for me to use a piece from this really ratty board. And then that will be used on a different crate. I cut the ratty section off, and then I come to this, a decision. We could have it like this, or I could have it like this. Thankfully I have time, but I'll most likely go like this. Looks like I cut these a little bit too low, but that's fine. Now I'm going to pre-drill the holes and glue it. Although now that I'm thinking, I might glue it, clamp it, then pre-drill it, because it looks like I can actually clamp it without interfering with my drilling. So I'll put the glue on, and then I'll put the clamps back on, and then I'll pre-drill some holes so I can nail on the sides. Because this is old wood, and it will splinter if I just hammer through it, most likely. At least this stuff will. This is like maple sapwood or even pine, so this probably will be fine. But what's interesting is how white it is when you cut it. Well, this is pretty simple. You know, I might want to save this board. That looks really fascinating, despite it being a splintery mess. I'm going to stop there with that one and going to keep that for something decorative because I love how that looks. Then we have these. I have picked the nails out of them, so there's no risk of that. That one had like 6 nails in it still. Let's see how this looks. I got those planed as best as I could. I think my planer blades are a little bit dull, which is a perfect time to use it on this sort of thing, but it's getting a little too dull to even go through this wood. But I got those cleaned up pretty well to where they're kind of stylistic. And this is the offcut from the base from the other crate. I trimmed it up so that these pieces can be the end caps on that one. And then we just need to find side pieces. But this has cracked. I knew that cracked, but I'm just gonna glue into here. And I'll clamp it, and while I'm deciding what to do with the rest of the stuff, I can let that dry. Well, we have those two pieces cut, but this one is not connected. So we have a second piece to glue, but it's worth it. This was starting to come apart, so a few extra nails. So these fit in here really well, but we need some handles. And I went over to my metal bin. I got out a piece of angle iron, but also a piece of pipe that I really want to get rid of. I think this could be good handles. And I have an idea for how to hook that on. So there've been a few developments. That angle iron that I have from that bed frame, I forgot. That stuff is tempered way too high, and it's just, I can't drill through it without killing my bits. But then I forgot I have like 60 of these, so these will be a good side bracket. And I cut this up because I don't need this piece. This is about the last bit that I don't need. And just look at that rust sausage. This is why it's good to replace old piping with copper or with PEX piping, and preferably to clean them out. But these will be the two handles, and I'll weld them onto a piece like that. And this can get pitched. Feel pretty good about that, because that was actually part of a long, like 8-foot piece that I've slowly cut up over the past 7 months, and I used quite a bit of it. Now I don't think I can cut that in half and get away with, well, nah, not really. That can't be its own handle, but maybe. I'll ground these ends, and then I also polish the ends of these. I'm gonna have to do this in the rain. It's just too smoky in here, especially because there's zinc on this. I don't want to breathe that in, but look at that. That's pretty cool. I normally don't like welding inside, especially when I'm doing zinc, because I just stand outside and I hold my breath, because I can hold my breath for quite a long time, but I don't want these fumes inside of the workshop. And so I came out here. I just have the welder inside the door here, and I just welded right out here just to stiffen it up real nice, because I wanted these to be really sturdy. And now they are. I decided to finally cut this up. I can't remember where this is from. Actually, that might be from that building. But I cut 2 more pieces, and I cleaned up the sides, and I cleaned up the sides of these so we can weld 2 more handles for the other crate. Well, that was an absolute pain in the butt. I couldn't get it to be on a flat surface, and the coarseness of the asphalt was messing with me, because these would be off by a little bit depending on what stone they touched. And I kept having issues of welding it, so it made such splatter. And because it's so dim today and raining, I kept running into issues of not having enough light to even see through the hood. Because on a sunny day, I can see through the hood. It's hot, but I can see at least. You know, I had a sneaking suspicion that I cut this 1 inch too short. So these will be the smaller ones for that crate. And then these will be for this crate. I do like these old screws. But these should be good. This one's pretty good. I like that actually. That's really cool. Well guys, I guess it's the season for getting crates and doing storage, because look what I found being thrown away on a residential street. Somebody was just like clearing out the garage and they had stolen all of these, I guess, bread racks and these onion boxes. They're folding boxes. They were just gonna throw them away. I'm a little bit annoyed because people take these and then they just throw them away. So usually with this stuff, what I'll do is I'll use them for a time and then I'll take them to where they're supposed to go. And I've saved them a whole bunch of effort. I did that with a whole bunch of milk crates for Wawa, the local convenience store. And then after like a few months of using them, I took them to the local Wawa and I went back into circulation. But they were just at a big office building in Philadelphia and they were going to be thrown in a dumpster. But, you know, like that's unfortunate. But yeah, this is kind of cool. So I say I can use these for drying racks for the time being. And I can use these to hold stuff. I don't know where these came from. So I'll just keep these. Presumably they may have bought them, I don't know. But these ones will go back to the bakery if I find them. And if the bakery doesn't exist anymore, I get to keep them. I've done that with a few milk crates from the 1970s. Well, that was so nice. I had somebody call me asking if I could weld something really quick. He brought over a steel yard chair that's something had fallen on and snapped one of the legs. And I welded it up. He gave me $20, twice as much as I asked, because I was like, it was quick. 10 bucks. He gave me 20 bucks. Now I'm $20 richer. Oh, I forgot to put that away. Well, that explains that. But yeah, these are now dry and a little bit cleaner. Clean enough for the workshop at least. Let's start putting stuff in them. Woody, look at that. My painting supplies fit perfectly. Now as for some of these things, we have the instructions for the wood elixir. I will scan that with my library scanner. And then similarly, we have these. Well, this. It's the box to a General Electric light bulb, probably from the 1980s or 1990s. And I'm going to scan that as well. Probably cut the side and scan it just for the future. Just so people can have that if they need that for reproduction in 100 years or whatever. And these, I'm so glad I got these. I've never seen these before, and I'm gonna give them a go sometime. I think that this needs to be put on display because I love how this looks. Obviously part of a store. Price tag here, 2 for 5 cents. Grizzly, genuine faucet washers. Obviously repurposed now. And then secrets. I've decided I'm going to keep this. This is going to be my spare screws container. I know it's not big enough for that, but oh well. Now I have been cleaning this up And hopefully we can put some things here. Okay, so this container is going to get all the stuff that I plan to preserve and give to other people. Stuff that I don't necessarily need, but I didn't want to see go into the trash, like floppy disks. I have some real gems in here, even a dealer store copy for this software. And that'll have to do. We will look through this in maybe a year or so whenever I get some time. And this stuff will get scanned, preserved, and then maybe sold or given away. And so yeah, unless somebody else wants to do that, which I would freely sell it or share it. Oh, and if you notice, this is actually an old 1950s or maybe 1960s table cover. Whenever I got this table given to me, I got all these old table covers given to me. So any of these old surfaces I'm going to protect with this. So we have computer stuff and paint stuff. Time to start taking some of these brackets and things and moving them into here. I think these are really cool. That's definitely an interesting style. Too much. Well, that was hard to open with one hand. That was weird. My finger went right into it. Well, whatever that is, it's obviously a lubricant of some kind. So it's going in the lubricant tray. And I found another little caster wheel. I finally gotten to the point where the pottery studio for the people who own these buildings is almost done. It's clean enough now to where all of these ceramic molds can go into the basement of the other building. So that opened up this area over here. So I started putting together my second metal shelf system. And I actually used some of the conduit that I've been ripping off of this building to be the cross struts. Whenever I built the other one to hold my other stuff, I used up the 3 remaining cross braces that I had. And so I needed to find something whenever I built this. But I was able to build these diagonal lines. And now that it's all together, I was also able to connect it up at the top. So it is mounted on the wall. And it's set up off the ground because the ground is sloped horribly. And now it can start holding my hardware store stuff, as I'm going to call it. And it's going to be all this stuff from the garbage days that I can pull from later on. Also, it can hold projects in progress and also tools like the belt sander. However, I would like for that to be the tool section. So I'll probably take some of the stuff from over there and put it over here. Well, I'm going to sort a little bit longer, and I'm still going to put 2 more shelves up on top for smaller boxes, but maybe just 1 shelf. But I need to find some more bolts. I have some brand new bolts, but I figured this was enough for one day. I need to fill up these shelves first. I found this in the recycling 2 days ago. It's an M&M's container, most likely for Halloween, which is in a few days. But this will be a nice little container on there. And I left the back label on just because it says what it is. And sometimes I like to know what container was what. And that way, years down the line, I can tell how packaging has changed. Now, I keep getting more things out of the trash. Recently picked this stuff up. I figure I'll make this into its own video, but, well, at least these pieces. We'll put this in this video. Looks like these are, oh, look at that. They're optical lights. Actually, you know what? That's kind of cool. Even though I have a box for light fixture items, we'll save that for the next video, as well as that teeny tiny little television, little black and white TV from, I believe, 1988 or so. Well, everything is moving around so fast. I finally have this furniture painting job finished. I'm so happy. And I'm hoping to put some pulleys up in the rafters so I can put stuff like these lights up there. Not to illuminate the rafters, although they might be useful, but just to keep them out of the way. Well, that's pretty much it. That was a really good haul. I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of work, but I keep picking up a little bit of trash here and there, and anything I don't need, I let go of. But a lot of it is pretty useful, and I think I can do some interesting things with it. If you want any of this stuff, please let me know. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. See ya. Not bad at all. I particularly like that it's mounted to the wall. I wouldn't climb on it, but I also wouldn't worry it would fall on me.